Welcome to U.S. Eagle Claw YouTube channel. The Ukraine-Russia war, which caused the greatest risk factors in the Eastern European bloc throughout the history of world wars, continues with very high tension in its 10th month. This war, which dragged all the countries of the world into a whirlpool with its international effects, caused the European countries, then the U.S. government and NATO to increase their security measures. In terms of security, these countries which support the Ukrainian army are trying to do everything they can to prevent the Russian aggressive policies from damaging the world balances much more. With the tension in the war increasing day by day, both sides think a lot about the steps they take. Russia seems to be much more concerned about this. The Moscow army, which suffered horrific losses in the Ukrainian war, could not tolerate any more negativity. Ukraine, on the other hand, is not expected to continue this war more advantageously without aid from the USA and the West. Therefore, the aid to be sent to the Kiev army is of vital importance. Although it seems unlikely that the Russians will pull themselves out of this bad situation anymore, the Moscow army continues its offensive operations on Ukrainian soil for the reputation war of leader Vladimir Putin. However, although the Russians tried to continue their strategy of attack on Ukraine, they could not avoid experiencing historical defeats in the past weeks. Zelensky's soldiers managed to retake Kherson, one of the most critical areas of the war, and point the tip of their HIMARS long-range missiles towards the Crimea. The Kiev army, which did not slow down after this huge victory, continued its dawn operations and counterattacks on other fronts of Ukraine. The heroic soldiers of Kiev, carrying out active operations in Donetsk, Luhansk, and southern Ukraine, all these regions began to come much closer to decisive victory thanks to the help of the USA and the West. In the past days, the Czech Republic, who wanted the Ukrainian heroes to come closer to victory, took a striking step with the cooperation of the USA. According to the latest announcement, the Ukrainian army will include 90 T-72B main battle tanks from the Czech Republic in its inventory. The United States and the Netherlands will provide $90 million in financing to the Ukrainian government to renew these tanks. Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh explained that this is the first time the U.S. has spent money to put these tanks back into service in Ukraine. These tanks will be equipped with an improved vision and communication system thanks to the financial support of the USA and the Netherlands. In December, it's planned that many more tanks will arrive in Ukraine. The U.S. will again have plans to provide military support to Ukraine after the end of this year. The Washington administration stated that it will send tanks and military equipment again in addition to the Kiev army in 2023. The U.S. Department of Defense announced about $400 million in additional security assistance to the government of Kiev under the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. This aid package underlines its commitment to support Ukraine by aiming to meet the most urgent needs, while at the same time improving the long-term capacity of the Ukrainian armed forces to defend its sovereignty. In total, the United States has committed more than $18.9 billion in security assistance to Ukraine since the beginning of the Biden administration. The United States has committed more than $21 billion in security assistance to Ukraine since 2014, and more than $18.2 billion since the start of the invasion of the Russian armed forces on February 24, 2022. The announcement marks the beginning of a contracting process to provide Ukraine with additional priority capabilities. The new military aid to Ukraine includes financing for the maintenance and repair of military equipment. Washington's new list also includes 45 refurbished T-72B main battle tanks with advanced optics, communication, and armor packages, which are expected to provide a lot of support to the Ukrainian army in this regard. In this new package, the U.S. will also supply Ukraine with 1,100 Phoenix Ghost tactical unmanned aerial systems, 40 armored riverboats, and tactical secure communication systems and surveillance systems. The overhauled T-72B tanks included in this package are part of a coordinated tripartite effort with the Netherlands and the Czech Republic. Alongside the United States, the Netherlands will procure 45 additional T-72B tanks with the support of the Czech Ministry of Defense and in cooperation with the Czech industry. The T-72B tank, which will be sent to the Ukrainian army, was produced in 1985 with a length of 6.9 meters, a width of 3.6 meters, and a height of 2.2 meters. Vehicle weight is 44.5 tons, with an increase of 3 tons over the original T-72 version. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, T-72B tanks were split between member states, with Russia and Ukraine forming the largest number. Therefore, Ukrainian soldiers will easily use the T-72Bs they bought from the Czech Republic. The T-72B's turret features a new armor package that provides much higher protection than previous T-72 MBT models. In addition, the inclined plate is equipped with 20 mm of applique armor. The main armament of the T-72B main battle tank consists of a special 125 mm smoothbore gun 2A46M. The main gun has a stabilizer with electro-hydraulic lift drive and electromechanical cross drive. The gun can fire 3 types of ammunition, including APFSDS, HEAT-FS, and HE-Frag. Thanks to these upgrades, the T-72 tanks seem to give the Ukrainian army a great advantage on the battlefield. The T-72B can also fire the Zub K-14 projectile, which includes a guided rocket designated 9M119AT-11. The rocket is semi-automatically laser-guided. A 7.62 mm coaxial machine gun is mounted on the right side of the main gun. On the commander's cupola is a 12.7 mm NSV heavy machine gun. Electrically operated fume extractors with 81 mm forward firing were added to the left side of the tower. The conventional armor of the T-72B, with a maximum thickness of 280 mm, is a new laminate armor with a nose of approximately 80 mm and an inclined surface of 200 mm. The armor-protected casing of the front hull section and turret is made of laminated composite armor plates that protect against most armor-piercing and shaped charge anti-tank projectiles. The front of the turret of the T-72B is equipped with an explosive reactive armor externally attached to the vehicle. Continuing its attacks in the provinces of Kherson, Kharkiv, Donetsk, and Luhansk, Ukraine has been requesting additional tanks for a long time to continue its struggle against Russia. Both sides suffered heavy tank losses through destruction, damage, or capture during the all-out invasion by Russia. After the decision of the Czech Republic to send these tanks to the Ukrainian army, good news came from Slovenia to the Kiev government. NATO member Slovenia has decided to deliver upgraded T-55 tanks, also known as M55S, to Ukraine. Thus, the old man T-55 will have the opportunity to once again prove his strength on the battlefield. According to information published by Kiev Independent on October 29, 2022. Slovenia has already sent M55S tanks to Ukraine as part of military aid. Previously, Germany and Slovenia agreed to send 28 M55S tanks from the Slovenian army to Ukraine in exchange for German military vehicles. Since the start of the war in Ukraine, Slovenia has exchanged numerous weapons with Ukraine, including Zastava M70 assault rifles, ammunition, helmets, and 35 M80A armored vehicles. The Slovenian M55S is a modernized version of the classic T-55 series, and its features are considered to be far superior to the original. In 1999, Slovenia decided to extensively modernize its 30 M55 tanks, or T-55S, to the M55S standard. According to this decision, the 100mm caliber D10 TS2 cannon was replaced by a 105mm L7 cannon, and a 7.62mm PKT coaxial machine gun was added to this tank. The tank also holds a 12.7mm heavy machine gun at the top of the turret for anti-aircraft and anti-infantry. The hull and turret of the M55S are equipped with explosive reactive armor mounted on the turret front curvature, sloping plate, and upper hull sides. The upper part of the suspension is protected by a 5-piece rubber skirt, which ensures that the high-explosive anti-tank warheads are protected before they strike the vehicle's main armor. A new computerized fire control system has been installed on the M55S MBT, allowing it to engage fixed and mobile targets with a high probability of first shell hit, whether the tank itself is stationary or in motion. The gunner has the Slovenian Fontana SGS 55 two-axis stabilized sight with a laser rangefinder that feeds the information to the fire control computer. The tank is also equipped with the takeover kit, which allows a Slovenian Komtos 55 commander to disable the gunner and fire target tracking, range determination, target selection, and firing the main gun or coaxial machine gun. The M55S is motorized with a new power pack consisting of a new 600 HP diesel engine, replacing the V12 water-cooled diesel that developed the 580 HP of the original T55. The tank can operate at a maximum road speed of 50 kilometers with a maximum cruising range of 500 kilometers. Despite having less firepower than the tanks with 125mm guns, the M55S, on the other hand, has a high accuracy advantage thanks to the integration of advanced Israeli electronics. The decision to send M55S tanks to the Kiev army could be a basis for Ukraine to receive some NATO tanks with 105mm guns. In the future, Ukraine may receive more Leopard 1A5 main battle tanks from Germany or other NATO member states in addition to the M55S tank. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications in order to be informed